Hello, this is Firebreather238. Once again, we're going to be doing a what if Deku had a creation quirk. Now, this creation quirk is going to be a little different, or majorly different. Basically, Izuku will have two versions of creation quirk. He'll have one where he's able to create anything out of thin air, like pretty much from basically just small materials, basically like melee weapons, like swords, axes, bows, knives, to military firearms like combine rifles, shotguns, sniper rifles, you just name it. Also, get rid of a rocket launcher. Anyway, so that's one half of his quirk. The second half will be it's similar to a Wattpad story I read, basically where Zuko has he'll have the ability to um, bring anyone to life, rather from real or from fiction. Like for example, he wanted to bring, for example, Darth Vader to Resistance. He'll come and be literally they would like any person that he summoned from the fictional world will think will think that Zuko is their master. But any Zuko brought back to life, like if I say Nana Shimura, she will not be affected by that same way. She'll think this come back to life, but right in front of Zuko, which he'll explain later about that later. Anyway, so this we'll start the story about when he's about 3 years old, and he's playing in the park with Bakugo and his friends, and like they basically at the park where no adults really go to anymore. So, and Bakugo's humming, leading everyone until he falls into the pond or fall off to the ground. Anyway, I think so Izuku um will try to go down and help, and literally I know it's not gonna be very possible, but let's say instead a villain pops out of nowhere, basically pops out about to attack the group, and literally Izuku's quirk manifested right where it happened. Like it was pretty like kind of like a flight fight or flight kind of situation. So like his quirk would manifest, and Zuko would literally think of a weapon. Like he knows some weapons already, so he would literally summon he will summon like two weapons. One would be like a military combat knife in his right hand, and a P99 in his left. And he always shocked to see these things come out of nowhere, but literally that will also switch out to like he will literally shoot the villain literally in the legs and literally just make sure it knocks out. Literally, this Awakening's quirk basically shocked him as well as everybody else. That right after the villain was dealt with, and immediately after that, he runs home to his mother, telling that his quirk manifested earlier than him. Like normally it'd be like here about 4. There's also where you able to summon it early than 4. So like after Izuku talks with his mother, like they went to the quirk doctor, and then they examined him to realize they found out that Izuku has like a 2-in-1 creation quirk, where like I said, one got the ability to bring anyone he wants to life from his world or from other worlds, to where he can also bring anything, any material or any kind of thing to him, like kind of bring any weapon basically. Anyway, so it was registered like a powerful quirk, literally more powerful than they would ever expect, and literally, basically, Izuku will get respect. Like what kind of like when the next day when they go to class, they when happened there, Izuku will pretty much show people his. Now he was told not to really use his like when it comes to his weapons quirk, kind of like the creation anything he wants to create kind of quirk where he can create weapons. He was told not to really make anything like deadly, like the actual firearms. So he told like create like kind of like let's say a baseball bat or a basically any kind of like non-lethal kind of weapon. So, and Izuku just summoned that, and he he needs to also information how like when it comes to the other quirk, he doesn't know any kind of fictional kind of characters. So Izuku literally from that day he started learning numerous stuff he watched different animes, different sci-fi movies like the event basically the Avengers, the Justice League, the Star Wars, High School DxD, don't jump me there, and some other stuff. Yeah, so during that time, Izuku was trying to figure out how to really control his power. Telling me, it's not really hard when it comes to it since since his core is pretty much strong. For some reason he doesn't have physical a kind of a restraint or any kind of limits, at all. And Izuku literally he can do what he wants with it. Since he might get a support kind of thing, since his core is kind of like a support, the actual combat hero kind of thing, besides the weapons part of it. So during the time, Izuku basically was training with different weapons, also hand-to-hand combat to really make it better. His parents are also, well, on his father's side, he's part of the Japanese military, so he got some military expertise from that end. So pretty much, I say, Izuku, every time during summer vacation for the past 10 years, he's been going to his father's military base to train there. And Izuku became pretty easily trying to adapt to different weapons and really know how to do things. Basically he can do everything right now. So, also, right now, Izuku, when it comes to Izuku's, he can able to bring forth, it's kind of similar to my other one, have the clone army as his quirk. He able to summon and generate them to command them. Basically, he's probably going to do something similar to that. He could, if he wanted to bring a battalion of stormtroopers, he can do that. If he wanted to bring a Sith, he can do that. He can bring a Jedi, he can do that. Now, when it comes to pretty much villains and heroes from the fictional world, they will not treat each other like villains. They will treat them like allies, like brothers. And literally, they will not hate each other. And it's and they will also, when it comes to Izuku's case, when it comes to his powers, his powers became pretty much known throughout most of the world. Literally because of the fact, Izuku pretty much has almost different people with him. One day he had probably let's say he had one time he had a stormtrooper with him, an undercover stormtrooper with him one day. Next thing he has a undercover assassin with him, etc., etc. So he would have that, but he also, it literally, it was fine with it. But when it comes to the pro heroes and the police, they kind of know about his quirk, so they know about what he can do, and they also they tried to help as well with his training, since he's also, because of the fact that some of the beings he can bring are pretty. He can bring anyone, no matter how strong they are. He can able to bring. I'm gonna go overboard on this one. He can bring Grand Zeno. He can bring Zeno from Dragon Ball into this world, or someone powerful as him, maybe more. He can bring him forth. Anyway, so, and also because he also brought the people, he also able to have if trained enough, he can have the powers of wherever he summons. So if if he summoned Darth Vader, he would train by Darth Vader with the Force. Now he can use the Force. That's something like that. Or now we're gonna skip ahead anyway. So we're gonna go to when during the last day of school. In this timeline, Bakugo and Izuku are kind of they treat her like brothers. Everybody respects Midoriya and Bakugo. Pretty much but more Midoriya because of the fact that Like he respects them, they respect him, so apparently like an equal kind of thing. Bakugo really respects Izuku since like Izuku doesn't really like he want to be a hero, but not like a number one. He kind of be a hero because he just want to help people, and Bakugo really expects that. And like he also pretty much like Izuku also said that if he does become a hero, he'll try to be like a really like a sidekick hero for Bakugo. So he has like since Izuku will have somewhat of an army with him as well. He'll have an army ready for him, like because in fact he built a pirate base outside of Japan. And the one who knew about this would be the police, the pro heroes, and the Japanese government. Anyway, so they know about that. Anyway, so Izuku basically straight up so like during the night at school, like the teacher said pretty much like I know like we're talking about their future, telling how they're going to try and become a hero. Basically, I rated all the questions for Izuku and Bakugo since it makes sense. And also forgot to mention that Izuku got a weapons license, so he can able to use firearms. Well, pretty much at least to an extent. Like he can use like outside, like if he's not really going crazy, he will pretty like he got a weapon license, he can able to use like basically just sidearms for for protection. He can able to carry, he can use it. Like he does have different modes of bullets. He can do regular lethal bullets, knockout bullets, bullets that can print like a paralyzing bullet. I am gonna go a little crazy here. I am gonna steal something from Ohal. He does have a quirk destroying bullet. Don't ask me why. Anyway, so he has that. Anyway, so Izuku will literally have different different bullets for different situations he's in, and like. So we're gonna just skip all the way to when Izuku travels under the tunnel, and literally, so like we travel under the tunnel, and the sled villain pops up. Izuku's reflexes are kind of between at least as sharp as Bago, and so or maybe higher. I think both Izuku and Bago reflexes are kind of more higher than they are in canon, so they would have more reflexes, and their sense would be even higher and stronger. So Izuku would literally dodge out of the way and use a electricity bullet. Really like how like basically he shoot and literally was kind of like put the stuff in kind of in a electric shock, and like it would like paralyze for a few seconds. Literally Izuku then at the last second when the Slipper finally got free of the or kind of like once the electric bullet wore off and literally tried to attack Izuku again, All Might already shows up and knocks the villain out. And Izuku basically just helps pick up the sledge with All Might and gave it to him and start walking away towards home. And well, when he got home, he runs to Inko and literally just basically just told him about his day, etc. And that's pretty much it. Past 10 months, he's been training nonstop with Bakugo to basically become stronger, and really also he's also, I forgot to mention it, because of the fact he also summoned other people, he's been using them to help make new become new assets. Now I am stealing from the story someone made, like I think it was you betrayed the gamer with basically have to put the person it was a crew bring anyone to life. But basically Zuko does the same thing for the past 10 years. He's been like using them to help him. Like he's been helping the police, and he used his army to really help the police and the pro heroes. Like the pro heroes had their own personal army thanks to Izuku. So like also in some cases I did end up putting Grievous. I did put a few like powerful, like some people he brought to life as heroes or like sidekick heroes underneath, like for like with studies, like for the past, like let's say when Izuku was 5, no, too young. When Izuku was 9, for example, if Izuku was 9 years old, he brought let's say Iron Man, and Superman, for example, and they were told to be, and they were kind of, he also, I forgot to mention, he can also alter the age for different cases anyway. And they were put into UA. So they went to UA, they become pro heroes. So basically he has some of his people brought to life are somewhat pro heroes, and other superheroes who are students, like undercover like agents in some occasions. So anyway, so um past 10 months, Izuku basically he's filthy rich because of it. Because of the fact he has multiple people helping him, like one people like helping society, and they have so he's basically rich. He's like his family is more richer than anyone, even richer than like he's talking about over well, I have to say this over trillions of money in his account, in his family's account, and they're fairly rich. So Izuku basically has they have their own match. They have at least um two mansions. I'd say like one like the regular mansion, one like the vacation mansion, and he has a yellow Camaro, which also is Bumblebee. Anyway, so they have yes, I did bring Bumblebee for this case. Anyway, so he had Bumblebee with him. So they went. So we're going straight to the exam. So basically, Bumblebee drives Izuku to UA. Basically, everything goes basically the canon mostly, and all the way till except for the fact that Izuku doesn't really talk. He doesn't really like. He's not a fanboy. He's not like a crazy fanboy he was like in the original series or manga, etc. So he isn't a crazy fanboy. So Izuku then when we get to the gate, he's literally once they get to the gate for one of the testing cities, Izuku has summoned like some got to remember what kind of weapons and armor. He also brought he equipped himself some military, like I would say UNC armor with the UNC assault rifle, for example, for that. I know I didn't say that at the beginning, but what the hell. So anyway, so most people around us are kind of like surprised that he is summon armor and weapon. Well, basically, then he is a possible talking about like what are you doing armor with it? Are you a villain? So like he literally like Izuku said no, it's part of his quirk. It will help him in battle. So like also the armor he's gonna be using isn't gonna be like one. It's gonna be a sparring armor. It will have more quick. Because of the armor, he's stronger, faster, and more agile. So basically, like it's kind of like Master Chief, but even stronger and faster than him. So the moment the gates are opening, Izuku basically rush in using the boosters from his sparring armor to go quicker, and then start shooting at the robots off the bat using both the assault rifle he's summoned first, then using the sidearm he already had on him. While the others, everybody else try to rush in, try to get points, while Zuko already dealt with a lot more. And I'd say Zuko has about, by now, I would say like 3 minutes have passed. He has about close to 1,500 points by now. So Izuku when Izuku started felt the ground started to shake, and he sees the Zero part pops out, and they start running towards the path of Zero Point to make sure that he can able to retrieve, but also figure out that anyone who needs help. And during he saw Uraraka being pinned by debris. So Izuku knew that even with the strength he has, he can't really pick up I know that he used his suit to be able to pull the debris off, but he knew that he don't have a lot of time to really deal with getting everybody out of the way in the 0 point, especially since at this point the 0 point mostly not as control anymore. It's out of control. Somehow the controller was disconnected from the 0 point, so when they summoned it, they lost full control of it. And somehow 0 pointer, I'm gonna add a little more to 0 pointer. 0 pointer has new fire, has machine he has machine guns and had a machine gun arm, and literally it started shooting literally lethal bullets toward the candidates. Now I know it's a little bit insane, but it makes sense. The reason I'm saying this is because, in fact, it makes more sense because the point robot, they all had have machine gun at their arm, but had no lethal bullets, and I feel like they should have had them. So, I think that let's say the 0.1 would activate lethal bullets and start trying to fire cadets. Until someone got injured, well, many of them got out of the way, and literally, Izuku is literally already got Uraraka out of the rubble and start carrying away from Zero Pointer. While he needed to find a way to save the candidates that were behind the wall of the entries of the where the city entrance was. So he ended up straightening tactics. He ended up summoning someone, he summoned no, I can't. I don't want to summon anyone. He ended up putting someone. He gonna bring summon someone who's already been summoned already. So he re-summoned Superman, and literally Superman dealt with the 0 pointer, literally, and that's after that. And literally everyone was shocked at the fact that how this Superman just popped out of nowhere right next to Izuku, and it just dealt with the 0 pointer. Right, really this. Basically, they're more concerned about how Izuku just summoned Superman. They wanted the rising heroes, and I'm telling you, he should be number one on the list. Anyway, so Izuku will basically, after it's over, and Uraraka basically got to, once Izuku got Uraraka to Curry Girl, he just laid her down and pretty much walked, then started to walk away. Literally. But also heard a shout from behind him, seeing that Uraraka just saying thank you, and Izuku just basically just smiles and walks away. Walks home to see that his mother talking to one of his allies, one of his people he summoned, and somehow one of them so happened to be Tsunade from Naruto, so he summoned her as a top part of his private army top medical person or medical officer, I guess the case. Anyway, so they see brother because Inko helps some I don't know how to say it. I don't know if it comes to this case. I don't know if it comes to her. Anyway, so we're gonna skip that. 2 weeks later, Izuku got not 2 weeks. Let's say a week instead. A week later, Izuku got a letter from Yue. They wanted to talk to him personally. So Izuku kind of trying to feel he's kind of a little concerned about this, but he ended up going anyway. So Izuku was brought to Yue by his mother, and when he got there, the first person he met was Aizawa. Literally, Izuku was more concerned. He was more concerned because of the fact that the underground hero Eraserhead Aizawa is right in front of him, literally just smiling at him Izuku thinking they did something wrong. Anyway, so basically Aizawa calmed down and walks Izuku and his mother to the principal office. And once they got there, they were met with not just Aizawa and Nezu, but all the pro heroes. Literally, all the pro heroes between the one by canon and the ones he summoned. So let's say Tsunade was a pro hero, Superman, Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, basically multiple pro heroes, and more pro heroes anyway. So, basically, and Zuko and his mother sat down, literally, and that's just telling Zuko saying how he's congratulating him. They're all congratulating Zuko personally for different reasons. For one, they congratulating Zuko that he's number one on the list, and he's automatically inside UA. The other reason why he's also saying they're congratulating him because they're actually thanking him for everything he's done so far for them. Because Izuku helped with the current hero population because crime rate was pretty low with All Might, but it's like it wasn't low enough. So Izuku bringing other people to help was kind of like a save for them, and Izuku also and they basically, now I know this is crazy. Now I'm not trying to do this, but Izuku has a choice. Either he can stay in Class 1A, he can either go to Class 1A as in canon, or have his own class, have his own like a classroom of his choose, like have his own class, his own classroom or class thing. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, like he could choose the homeroom teacher and his classmates. So that's why I think we got a little complicated. Anyway, so Izuku is Izuku was shocked by this because not only if he was setting him UA, but he given a chance to he has his own custom homeroom to have, and his basically as his choosing who can be into the class. Izuku asked Nezu why, and pretty Nezu just told him that pretty much that young Midoriya, because of the fact he was ranked at the highest, and also powerful because of the fact of his quirk, he was given a custom class of whatever basically his custom class is kind of like getting elites. Like you kind of like the big three, but a lot more stronger in their first years, so they're kind of more stronger. So, basically Izuku's thinking about this, and I'm gonna cut off right now because Prince, I need to think more. So this is going to be just a part 1 of numerous other stuff. So thank you, and I'll comment later.